What is going on, guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down why Abaddon has a 54.29% win rate. This is one of the most underrated support heroes in Dota, one of the highest win rates in Dota as well, but at the same time it's a hero that I honestly barely never see. It's such a strong hero, and if you guys are a support player and are looking to climb, you should be picking up Abaddon in your pubs. This hero is absolutely insane and provides so much for his team that you'd be a fool not to pick this hero. I would like to tell you guys that I will be going on holiday, so you might see this video maybe a week later. I'm going to be going away for 2 weeks, so I'm going to be pre-uploading a bunch of videos, so hopefully nothing crazy happens while I'm gone. Maybe a patch comes out, but whatever it may be, when I do get back, I will be making as much videos as possible. But for the time being, hopefully you guys do enjoy the uploads. Let's start breaking down the facet you guys want to use with Abaddon. So you want to use the quickening. So basically every unit that dies within a 900 AoE of Abaddon lowers his cooldowns by 0.2 seconds if it's a creep, or 4 seconds if it's a hero. So if a hero dies, you get 4 seconds on all your abilities, which is very, very important because Mist Coil has a very short cooldown and aphotic shield has a pretty decent cooldown. The other facet makes your aphotic shield much stronger. So if you do see a game where you're going to be revolving around your aphotic shield a whole lot, then you might want to buff that up a little bit better. But this is honestly the best play because you're going to be casting it more and more mist coils. So overall, it's the much better facet, and pretty much every support player I've been seeing has been running this as well. I've been playing a little bit of Abaddon here and there, not a whole ton. I'm just a very big Tusk player when I do decide to play support when I'm out of role queue games. So I don't pick up the Abaddon a ton anymore, but I did climb a whole lot with this here, and I should be picking it up more often. It's just the Tusk takes more of my priority just because it's so fun, but the Abaddon in general is going to do a whole lot more than the Tusk could ever do. I just like playing with the Tusk Aghanim Scepter. It's just super fun. But let's break down the innate ability. Basically, Font of Avernus is the innate ability, and your respawn time is reduced by 10%. So it is pretty decent. Like in the late game especially, it is pretty nice. So you could go for more ballsy plays and not get punished as heavily. One of the things I would like to say that I love about Abaddon support is the fact that it is necessary for you guys to build auras on this hero. This hero provides so much for his team, and the fact that you're able to build auras makes him so much more tankier, and your ultimate is just going to keep you alive for such a long time that you're going to be very tedious, very pesky for the enemy team to actually deal with you. They're going to have a lot of issues, and they're going to have to commit a lot of spells and a lot of things that they don't want to commit on a position 5 or a position 4 Abaddon, which is really nice. You soak up a lot of pressure, and you're able to be in very shitty situations and get out thanks to borrowed time. So I usually recommend Abaddon for pretty much players of all skill ranges, but the newer you are to Dota, the more you benefit from a hero like Abaddon. This hero is not only strong, and not only that, with borrowed time, you're able to be in a terrible position and just get out pretty much freely. And with your aphotic shield, it's a strong dispel, so that's going to help your team out. It's also going to help you. Very important for you guys to keep this hero in your hero pool. Mist Coil is also very nice. Your Aghanim Scepter in the late game is very crucial to winning a lot of team fights. I've won so many games off the back of this Aghanim Scepter. It's just absolutely insane. You just start firing Mist Coils left, right, and center and just keeping everybody topped up, and you basically become a glorified healer. But that's not always a bad thing. And when you're building items like Vlad's or Assault Cuirass or a pipe, pretty much anything your heart desires you can build on this hero. But the standard build is Mana Boots, Solar Crest, Drums, into Aghanim Scepter, and then eventually getting maybe a core item if you wish. But you could also substitute some of these items for items like Holy Locket, which are very important. It's also a very nice item build, very good stats for you as well. The Boots of Bearing is also a very good option if you don't want to get Mana Boots, but I highly recommend you get those. This hero has a lot of mana issues, especially if you're pumping out a lot of aphotic shields on your teammates and a lot of mist coils. Curse of Avernus, you pretty much just want to take 1 point. That's about it, just for the extra attack speed and extra harassment. But other than that, it's not as good as it used to be. They kind of really crippled carry Abaddon. You just don't silence anymore, so it's not as good, because back in the day you used to be able to play support Abaddon and get that extra silence and the slow. So now it's just the slow. It's not that great anymore, but you're going to be playing around the Mist Coil and the aphotic shield pretty much permanently, so that's the way you're going to be playing that. So you're playing to buff up your team and to soak as much damage as possible. So building auras is going to help you do that more effectively and also keep your team alive. It also helps if you have a greedy offlaner that doesn't like to build auras. That way you take their role and you do a lot better that way, and they can build a lot more greedy and make their hero a lot more effective and maybe do more damage or more control if that's what they're going for. Let's break down some of the best and worst matchups for Abaddon. Some of the best matchups are Arc Warden, Spectre, Skywrath Mage, Silencer, Bane. These matchups are pretty good for you. You do a lot against the Spectre in lane. There's not a whole lot the hero can do to you. Skywrath Mage, Silencer, all these types of heroes that you're able to get a ton of value from the aphotic shield is very important for you to go up against heroes like Silencer. If they silence one of your teammates and you aren't silenced yourself and you cast an aphotic shield, you can get a really big save. Heroes like Pugna as well, Spirit Vessel, there's so much things you can counter just off the back of aphotic shield. That's why using the quick and aim fast set is going to be much better, because you're going to be able to provide more utility for your team, which is what this hero is all about. Some of the bad matchups are Lycan, Undying, Huskar, Viper, Doom, Axe as well. Axe can pretty much dunk you if you're within that range. He can just dunk you and your ultimate's not going to proc. What I usually recommend to Abaddon players who are dealing with an Axe problem is if they see that they're about to get called, if you do have the vision, you do see it, pop your ultimate. There's no way you're going to die. They're not going to be able to dunk you. Your ultimate lasts long enough for you to be able to live through that, or at least not get dunked. Otherwise, you might start feeding quite a bit. But overall, that's not the most brutal matchup you guys can go up against. But Viper, Doom, Huskar, these are very toxic and brutal matchups. So those, you can't be this big tanky frontliner support. You're not going to be doing a whole lot of that. You're going to be playing more of like a backliner, where you're going to sit in the back, cast your aphotic shield, cast your mist coils, keep your carry or your mid laner or offlaner or anybody on your team alive. That's going to be your main job pretty much across the board. But when you're not facing up against these really tough counter matchups, you're able to be a lot more free around the map and be in much stickier situations. You could also take the unsafe farm on the map, which is what I love about this hero. Since you have your borrowed time, you're able to borrowed time TP out. If they have no stuns, there's no way they're going to kill you through that. So it's a very good tool for you guys to use. If they have stuns, then obviously you might be a little bit screwed, but with your aphotic shield, you might be able to get away plus borrowed time. So you're able to get that farm that nobody on the map wants to get on some of these difficult games, which is really nice because you're not taking farm from any of your cores and you're not being a nuisance around the map taking other people's farm. When you're playing as position 5, you don't have the farm priority for you to get these types of items, and your Aghanim Scepter is quite crucial, especially in some games where your team is lacking the healing. Very important for you to get this Aghanim Scepter as early as possible, at least third item, and try and not push it too far back. This hero is extremely underrated, and it pains me to see that not a whole lot of players are using this hero when you definitely should, because he will win you a lot of MMR, and you don't really have to be that great of a player to get a ton of value from Abaddon, which is what makes him very user friendly. And newer players should be checking out Abaddon and should be learning how to play him, because it's going to be winning you a lot more games. Let me know in the comment section below what do you guys think about Abaddon this patch. I think Abaddon has stayed insanely consistently for the last few patches and hasn't changed a whole lot. No matter what they do to the hero, he just feels really strong. But no matter what, people just don't seem to like the playstyle of Abaddon. And I definitely like to play that. I like to buff up my team when I am playing support, and I like that whole style of playing. So he's definitely right up my alley. But when I'm not trying to play Abaddon, then I will usually play Tusk, because it's just a higher skill ceiling. You can make a lot more crazier plays and saves with the hero. And Abaddon's just more of a healer and just kind of staying in the back or soaking up a lot of pressure. You're not really doing crazy insane plays. But if you are quick with your fingers, you can do some really cool plays with your mist coils and your aphotic shields. You could kind of get the enemy to overcommit and you're ready to click your teammate and help them out. And you could kind of go for some counter potential plays, definitely, but not as high skill ceiling as Tusk. But I would definitely like to know in the comments what you guys think. One of my favorite heroes in the support category. I don't think core Abaddon should be played whatsoever. I don't think it's very good at all, but support Abaddon is definitely very meta, very strong, hence why he has a 54% win rate, one of the highest win rate heroes in Dota for a reason. The hero is insanely strong. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.